Welcome, welcome. It's that time of the week again. It's Monday Mythbusters. And today's myth that I'm going to be busting is that you can't use hypnobirthing if you're having a caesarean section. So caesarean section, C-section, abdominal birth, whatever you want to call it. The myth is definitely that hypnobirthing isn't beneficial if you're having a caesarean. Absolutely not true, hence why it's in the series. And this is whether you have an unplanned or planned. So in hypnobirthing, we talk about caesarean sections anyway, and we talk about that because that may be an option that's the safest for you and your baby once you're in birth or labour, or as you near to baby arriving, and that's the right decision you've made as an informed choice to have a caesarean. And some people choose to have a caesarean section for lots of different reasons, and that is totally acceptable as well. So what's really important is that really the ultimate message is that you can use hypnobirthing for caesareans. I talked a little bit already about choice and informed choices, and that's the same with the caesarean section. So hypnobirthing can be really powerful to somebody if they are wanting a caesarean section for their own reasons. So you're a pregnant person right now and you know you want a caesarean, and that might be personal preference, it might be personal choice, it might be the safest thing, it might be due to previous trauma, and hypnobirthing will empower you to get that option for your birth. So some people, and I've had it with a recent client, will get pushback from their care providers about having a planned caesarean section. And that is where hypnobirthing will support you, show you all the guidelines and guidance, so that you can go into a meeting with consultation with a consultant, and get that caesarean section that you want. It is totally your choice if that is the birth that you would like to choose, and there is no reason why you should be told no. So that's the first thing, is that hypnobirthing will empower you to make that choice if that is what you want. And then it's about making that choice perhaps in labour, if that's the safest thing for you and baby, when you've asked all your questions and you know that right now the best thing is a caesarean. So choice is one reason why hypnobirthing is really great for caesareans. But the other lots of reasons, and I'll just summarise because I wouldn't want to, spoiler alert all my classes, but I do a caesarean workshop and just focus on hypnobirthing for caesareans. So it doesn't talk about physiological birth, other than what happens if I go into physiological birth when I want a caesarean. So we touch on caesareans when we do the full course, when that's planning for a physiological labour. But I do a specific workshop just on C-section births as well. So hypnobirthing, when it comes to caesarean sections, what can that do for you? So first of all, it's about helping you release your fears. That's really important. Sometimes people have chosen a caesarean section because they have their own fears. They may relate to birth, they may relate to hospitals and care providers. So hypnobirthing will help you work on those fears. It will also teach you how to stay relaxed. You are ultimately going in for major surgery, so it's really important to have the tools and techniques to be able to stay relaxed in a caesarean section. That's in the lead up to, so that you're not sort of causing stress on your body and your baby. That's when you're waiting to go into theatre. That's during the epidural, and then when you're laid on the table having your caesarean. It's really important to be as relaxed as possible. Your body does naturally shake or convulse, and hypnobirthing techniques really support that as well. And that's when the breathing comes into play, and being able to maybe zone out if that's the right thing for you. And then it's really about knowing your options in a caesarean section, so things that you can have control over, so that your birth environment is exactly how you want it. So just because you're choosing to give birth in an operating theatre, or that's where your journey has taken you, doesn't mean that you can't ask for the similar things that you would have in your physiological birth. So you can listen to the right music that you want to, you can wear the clothes that you want to wear, take you, things that make you feel comfortable, as long as they can access you for an operation. You can have all of those things. You can have the smells that you want on rollables, and you can even have the lights down so that it's not a bright, harsh environment for you and baby. All of those things are options available to you, as is a gentle caesarean, which I will touch on very briefly here, but that effectively is a slow process caesarean where baby has a chance to wriggle out of the incision in your abdomen, and that mimics a vaginal birth, which is really great. Great benefits for mum and for baby. So there are options that you can put in your birth plan, because we do still do birth plans for caesareans as well. And hypnobirthing really supports you in your hormones for a caesarean section as well. So when you go into physiological labour, obviously your oxytocin, all your other hormones, your mothering hormones, your prolactin, they're all flowing around you because you've started contracting. In a caesarean section, a planned one, that won't have happened. So we work with you to help that flow of those hormones, so that you are able to bond with baby, produce the hormones for breastfeeding, everything that you would want to mimic in a physiological birth. Hypnobirthing will help you with that, which is great. And also all that magic time that we talk about, so the skin to skin, the delayed cord clamping, all of that can happen in a caesarean section. So when it comes to hypnobirthing, a lot of the stuff around C-sections is really informative, making sure you know everything that's available, even if you're having an abdominal instead of a vaginal birth. And supporting you in that, so that you come out of it feeling really positive, and having all that lovely rush that you would have had you had a vaginal birth. It is still a birth. A caesarean is just as much a birth as a vaginal birth. It is major surgery. You've spent the last 9 months growing your baby. There's no easy way out here. It's just the right choice for mum and baby. And hypnobirthing absolutely supports that. So hopefully I've busted that myth right out the park today. You can absolutely use hypnobirthing in C-sections, whether they're planned or they're unplanned. And do reach out if you've got any questions.